Hello, future champions of the pharma world. Think of your career as a grand culinary journey. Just like a chef doesn't just throw ingredients into a pot, a successful pharma professional doesn't just wander into the market. There's a method, a recipe for success. And the three most important ingredients in this recipe are performance appraisal, budgeting, and reporting. These aren't just corporate buzzwords. They are the tools that help you understand where you are, where you're going, and how much fuel you have for the journey. They are your map, your compass, and your kitchen inventory all rolled into one. Without them, you're just cooking in the dark, hoping for the best. Imagine you're trying to perfect a complex dish. You need to know what a perfect dish tastes like. That's your goal. You need to measure your ingredients precisely. That's your budget. And you need to taste it at every stage to make adjustments. That's your reporting and feedback. Performance appraisal is that final taste test where your mentor, your manager, tells you what worked and what needs a little more salt. It's not about criticism, it's about refinement. It's a conversation designed to make you a better chef in your territory, helping you grow from a novice into a master of your craft. Now, let's talk about the money, the budget. Every great dish has a cost. As a medical representative, you are given resources to create sales magic. Your budget is the list of ingredients you can afford. It includes your salary, your travel allowances, the samples you carry, and the money for doctor meetings. Understanding how to manage this budget is like a chef knowing how to run a profitable kitchen. It shows you're not just a good cook, you're a smart business person who can create value without wasting precious resources. This skill is what separates a good professional from a future leader. Let's step into the kitchen with a young, ambitious medical representative named Rohan. It's the beginning of the year. He's sitting down with his manager, Mr. Verma. This isn't a test, it's a planning session. This is the first and most crucial stage, goal setting. Mr. Verma starts not with demands, but a question. Rohan, what do you want to achieve this year? Beyond sales numbers, where do you want to grow? This question makes him a partner in his success. They review the company's big goal, grow market share of CardioSecure by 15%. This is the main dish to prepare. How will Rohan contribute? Mr. Verma breaks it into manageable bites. They set a specific sales target for his territory. They set process goals. Meet 10 new cardiologists each month. Make CardioSecure the top prescribed drug among his top 20 doctors. Sales number is the destination. Process goals are the roadmap. Only watching the finish line risks tripping. They add personal development goals. Rohan admits he struggles with objections. Attend an advanced communication workshop. Practice objection handling with Mr. Verma twice a month. They end with a clear written plan. Sales targets, listed. Activity targets, doctor visits and meeting frequency, listed. Personal development goals, listed. Everything has numbers and deadlines. Rohan leaves empowered, not pressured. He has a recipe for the year. He knows the ingredients and steps. Clarity removes confusion and lets him focus on execution. Now that Rohan has his plan, let's talk about the secret spice that brings out the flavor in every goal. Targets and deadlines. Some people see targets as a source of pressure, a heavy weight on their shoulders. But a wise manager, like a skilled chef, knows that pressure turns a tough cut of meat into a tender masterpiece. A deadline is not a threat. It's a promise you make to yourself. It creates a sense of urgency that pushes you to be more creative, more efficient, more focused. It forces you to stop procrastinating. Start doing. Think about it. Mr. Verma gave Rohan a target of reaching 10 new cardiologists per month. Without this specific number, Rohan might meet 5 new doctors and feel he's done. The target of 10 pushes him out of his comfort zone. It makes him plan his days more carefully. He has to research which doctors to target, figure out the best time to meet them, prepare a compelling pitch. This structured effort, driven by a clear target, accelerates his learning. Deadlines work the same way. Rohan's goal of attending a communication workshop has a deadline, within the first quarter. This prevents him from saying, "I'll do it someday." The deadline makes it a priority. He has to research workshops, get approval, schedule it. This action-oriented mindset spills into his daily work. When a doctor asks for clinical trial data, he promises to deliver it by tomorrow afternoon, not just soon. This reliability builds trust, the secret ingredient in long-term customer relationships. Deadlines teach commitment and follow-through. Mr. Verma explains this to Rohan during a field visit. Think of your targets and deadlines as your personal trainer. They push you to do one more repetition, to run a little faster. It feels tough in the moment, but that's how your muscles grow. Each time you hit a monthly target, you're not just earning a number. You're building a success muscle. You're proving to yourself you can achieve what you set out to do. This confidence is the most valuable asset you will ever have in your career. The appraisal process isn't a once-a-year event. That would be like a chef who only tastes the dish after it's served to the customer. By then it's too late to fix anything. The magic happens in the simmering stage, the months between the goal-setting meeting and the final review. This is where ongoing monitoring and coaching come in. Mr. Verma doesn't just give Rohan a target and disappear. He schedules regular fieldwork days, not to police him, but to coach him. It's a chance to see Rohan in action, to taste the dish while it's still cooking. On one visit, Mr. Verma watches Rohan with a skeptical senior doctor. Rohan presents cardio secure well, but the doctor keeps pressing about side effects versus a competitor. Rohan gets flustered. Back in the car, Mr. Verma doesn't criticize. He asks, "Rohan, what went well in that call?" Mr. Verma then shares a technique. Next time, he suggests, try the feel, felt, found method. Doctor, I understand how you feel about this concern. Many other doctors felt the same way when they first heard about it. However, what they found after reviewing the long-term safety data was that the side effect profile is actually very favorable. This is real-time practical coaching. It's a small adjustment, but it can completely change the outcome of a sales call. This continuous feedback loop is vital. Mr. Verma reviews Rohan's weekly reports. He notices Rohan meets visit targets, but conversion with new doctors is low. Instead of waiting for the year-end review, he calls Rohan. "Hey Rohan, I see you're working hard and meeting lots of new people. That's fantastic. Let's brainstorm some ideas on how we can make those first meetings more impactful. What do you think is the biggest challenge?" The end of the year arrives. It's time for the formal performance review. We might call it the final plating. For many people, this day is filled with anxiety. But for Rohan, it's a different story. Thanks to constant coaching and clear goals throughout the year, he knows exactly what to expect. He walks into Mr. Verma's office prepared, not scared. He even has his own file. Achievements, challenges, learnings. This meeting isn't a monologue. It's a genuine dialogue between two professionals. Mr. Verma starts the meeting on a positive note. "Rohan, let's talk about the year. You set out to increase the prescription share of Cardio Secure. The numbers show you've exceeded your target by 10%. That's a fantastic achievement. Tell me, what are you most proud of?"
He talks about winning over Dr. Sharma, a key opinion leader, strategy he used, research he did, and the patience it took. This is his chance to showcase the what, the result, and also the how, the skill and effort he put in.
Of course, the review also covers areas for improvement. Mr. Verma brings up the data from the first half of the year. Remember how your conversion rate with new doctors was a bit low initially? We worked on the feel, felt, found technique. Let's look at the data for the second half of the year. Your conversion rate improved by 40%. This shows you can learn and apply new skills effectively. For next year, let's focus on making this consistency your superpower. The feedback is specific, data-driven, and linked back to the coaching. It's constructive, not critical.
The review isn't just about sales numbers either. They discuss Rohan's other goals, like completing the advanced communication workshop and how he applied those learnings. Mr. Verma notes his improved confidence and presentation skills.
So the formal review becomes a comprehensive assessment. It looks at the results, the what, the processes and competencies, the how, and the personal development journey. It's a balanced scorecard that paints a complete picture of Rohan's performance, focusing on what truly matters for the business and for his own growth. The performance review concludes, but honestly, its impact is just beginning. This is where we talk about the sweet reward, the connection between performance, rewards, future opportunities. Based on his excellent performance, Rohan receives a high rating, which translates into a good performance bonus, a salary increase. This is the most direct form of recognition. We see your hard work, we value your results, we are rewarding you for it. This tangible reward is a powerful motivator.
But, the rewards go far beyond money. Because you did so well with CardioSecure and showed great initiative, I want to give you a new responsibility. We are launching a new diabetes drug next quarter. I want you to be the product champion for our team. You'll get special training from the marketing team and will be responsible for coaching your colleagues on the product. This is a huge vote of confidence, a non-financial reward that's arguably more valuable than the bonus.
All right, let's switch gears and talk about another critical skill for a future manager: budgeting. If sales targets are the what you need to achieve, the budget is the how much you have to achieve it with. Think of it as your kitchen's pantry and your grocery list. You have a certain amount of ingredients, like money, product samples, promotional materials, to create your culinary masterpieces, which are your sales. A great chef knows how to create a Michelin star meal without wasting a single carrot. Similarly, a great sales professional knows how to maximize results within their allocated budget. A sales budget has two main types of costs. First, fixed costs, like kitchen rent. They don't change much month to month. Examples: salary, benefits. Then, variable costs, like grocery bills. They change with activity. Variable costs include travel expenses, fuel, hotels, product samples, small group meetings, sponsoring a local medical event. How is the budget created? At the start of the year, Mr. Verma meets his team. He received a total regional budget from his senior manager. He must allocate it among team members, including Rohan. It's a negotiation. Rohan presents his plan: number of doctors to visit, key towns to travel to, promotional activities to run. Based on this, he proposes travel and promo budgets. Mr. Verma reviews, asks questions, and they agree on a final number. Managing the approved budget is monthly. Rohan uses a simple spreadsheet. Columns show expense categories: fuel, samples, meetings. Other columns: budgeted amount, actual spent, variance, the difference. At month end, he reviews the sheet. Did he overspend on travel? Maybe fuel prices rose or an extra trip was needed. Did he underspend on meetings? Maybe a planned event was cancelled. This tracking makes him financially disciplined and aware of the cost of his actions. So why should a young medical representative like Rohan care so much about managing a small travel budget? Because honestly, it's not about the small numbers, it's about the big mindset. Mastering budgeting is like graduating from a cook who just follows a recipe to a chef who runs a kitchen. It shows that you think like a business owner. If the budget is your pantry, then sales reports and key performance indicators, or KPIs, are your customer feedback cards and your kitchen's temperature gauges. They tell you what's working, what's not, and where you need to make immediate adjustments. A lot of medical representatives see filling out their daily call report as a chore. But smart professionals like Rohan see it as creating data that tells a story about their own effort and effectiveness. Mastering the art of reading these reports is like a chef learning to read the subtle signs of a perfectly cooked dish. So, what do these reports track? The most common KPIs for a medical representative are both activity-based and results-based. Call average, coverage, frequency, sales versus target, prescription share, new prescribers. Mr. Verma teaches Rohan not to look at these numbers in isolation. He says, the story is in the connections. For example, your report might show a high call average, which is great, you're working hard. But if your prescription share isn't growing, it tells us something is wrong with the quality of your calls, not the quantity. It tells us we need to work on your selling skills, not your work ethic. This is how data turns into diagnosis. It helps a manager pinpoint the exact problem and provide the right coaching, instead of just saying you need to sell more. Rohan learns to use this data for his own self-coaching. Every week he looks at his dashboard. He notices that for one of his key products, the sales are flat despite him visiting the doctors regularly. He digs deeper. He realizes he's been spending only 2 minutes talking about that product at the end of his call. The data reveals a flaw in his own process. The next week, he changes his strategy. He decides to lead the call with that product. A month later, he sees the sales for that product begin to climb. The KPIs didn't fix the problem, but they acted as a flashing red light, alerting him that a problem existed. As we reach the end of this culinary journey, I want you to see the bigger picture. Appraisal, budgeting, reporting, they are interconnected elements of a single powerful mindset, the mindset of a leader. A great team player like Rohan masters these skills for their own territory. They set clear goals, they seek and act on feedback, they manage their resources wisely, and they use data to improve their performance. They take ownership of their small business within the larger company. This ownership is the first step towards becoming a manager. Because really, what does a manager like Mr. Verma do? He does the exact same things, but on a larger scale. He sets goals for his team. He coaches them. He manages a larger budget for his region. He analyzes reports for his entire team to spot trends and make strategic decisions. By mastering these skills as a medical representative, you are essentially completing the manager's training program years before you even apply for the job. Be a fantastic, dedicated team player. Hit your targets. Be a sponge for feedback. Be the most reliable person on your team. But at the same time, think like your future self, the manager. When you fill out a report, ask yourself, if I were the manager, what would this data tell me? When you plan your monthly tour, ask, how can I get the best business results from this travel budget? Your career is the grandest dish you will ever cook. Clear goals, continuous feedback, financial discipline, data-driven decisions. Prepare well, taste and adjust as you go, and you will not only achieve your goals, but also become the leader you are meant to be. Bon appetit!